Tonk.
Hey everyone, it's Dick here. Today I ride Kyle's 1986 Yamaha V Max, also known as the VMX 1200. Kyle's V Max is a water-cooled 1198cc V4 shaft-driven motorcycle. Back when it was manufactured in 1986, it had 140.04 horsepower. It has 114.74 newton meters of torque at 7,500 RPM. It's a cable-operated throttle, it's a cable-operated clutch, it's got 4 carburetors, and a TCI, transistor-controlled ignition. It's a 5-speed manual transmission. On the front it has 144 millimeters of travel in its cartridge suspension. It's got a 29-degree fork angle, which I mentioned because the rake on these 1980s Yamahas were way out in front. It runs twin disc brakes of 298 millimeter discs on an 18-inch front wheel. The rear is a twin-shock suspension swing arm with 100 millimeters of rear wheel travel. It runs on a 150/90 R15 rear tire. That's a lot of rubber. It doesn't have ABS. It doesn't have rider modes. It doesn't have traction control. It doesn't have anything but a monster engine and a mysterious thing called V-Boost. The V-Max is a legendary motorcycle with a vibrant cult following. Inexplicably, the first generation's quintessentially characteristic air scoops, mounted on either side of what appears to be the gas tank, are non-functional. They are purely aesthetic. Modeled after the air scoops on the top of 1950s hot rods, the V-Max scoops are a design exercise that have no practical use. Like my Uncle Pat's Virago 1100 from the same era, the V-Max had a face only a mother could love. I've always been curious about this bike, so let's take it for a ride and see what all the hubbub's about.
Hey everybody, it's Dick here. I am on a 1986 Yamaha V Max 1200. I'm not on a 1986 Yamaha V Max 1200. I'm on Kyle's Yamaha V Max 1200. Kyle is one of the fine gentlemen at Lanes Yamaha in Watkins Glen, New York. And I've known Kyle on and off for a couple of years now, but we've developed a pretty good friendship in the past year or so. He's kind of known me popping in and out of the shop casually whenever I've been in town. He was and is as nice to me as he is to any other customer that pops into Lanes. But I had a fire at the carriage house where I keep my motorcycles this year during the pandemic, and I was in the UK, and he and Trenton, the heir apparent to Lanes Yamaha, went down and pulled my bikes out of the wreckage and have slowly been going through the bikes with the mechanics at Lanes, seeing what's salvageable and what can be resurrected. And so I owe Kyle and Trenton and the people at Lanes a huge debt, but despite the huge debt I owe them, they're generous enough to let me ride their motorcycles. Here I am on Kyle's 1986 Yamaha V Max 1200, and I've never been on a V Max, and I've always had a kind of interest, a curious interest on the V Max, but I've always been dissuaded at getting on a V Max because of how, well, because of the reputation that they have. There's two schools of thought on the V Max. One, that it's ugly and inappropriate and just not a nice looking motorcycle, and it has some haters in terms of handling and fuel efficiency and a couple of lingering latent mechanical issues. But the other school of thought is the cult of V Max, the V Max cult. And if you've been on a V Max, you can kind of overlook a lot of the detractors. It's a brutal bike. I think Kyle said it. I don't know if he said it, but I know it. It's a brutal bike. It's a muscular bike. It's a V4. carbureted, liquid-cooled 1200 engine, and it's got 150 odd brake horsepower, shaft driven. It's got, I think Kyle said it was 90 something foot-pounds of torque, but I'm pretty sure it's closer to 120. But still, it's a torque. I mean, it's a V4, so you know, it's two V-twins stacked against each other, and it's as torquey as a V-twin. But it also has this thing called V-boost. Honda and Yamaha have always taken chances on certain bikes and certain technologies, and the V-boost is one of those things where this valve servo motor, that when you reach 5,800 RPM, it opens up the valves. I think it goes 1 and 3 and 2 and 4, so alternating valves open up with this servo motor, and you get this boost, this fuel dump into the combustion chamber, and you just, so here's a little bit. So here we are going 5,000, 5,500. Oh! Whoa! I didn't think it was gonna be that. Oh, and you can feel it turn off when you drop below that RPM. Oh my gosh, that is... Now, I'm not one to rev my engines out, so this kind of redlines at 9,500 RPM, so I'm comfortable about 5,000 RPM. But if you push it up to 6,000, you are, holy cow, right there. So 5,000 RPM, 75, I'm already going 75 miles. Oh! I don't know how often I take advantage of that, but holy crap. Oh, I don't even know what gear I'm in. Oh, I wanted to get up there, so I must be in 5th gear now. So that was 4th gear. That was 4th gear, 75 miles an hour, 5,000 RPM. You bring the RPMs up to just under 6,000 RPMs, and you are just freewheeling. Holy shit. One of the comments about this bike is the handling and the twisties, and that it's not very nimble. These kind of sweeping turns, I'm being very conservative on the sweeping turns because I don't know if it's not nimble, but you definitely feel the bulk of this bike. This is not a light bike, and you feel a lot of the weight at the rear, so I can understand why it doesn't feel nimble. It feels cumbersome. Kind of even just doing this, it feels a bit cumbersome. The rake on the front forks are, I think, as drastic as the same era of the Virago, like Uncle Pat's Virago. He said you use the rear brake a lot. The rear brake is spongy, so if you're using the rear brake a lot, it doesn't kind of clamp on too much, so it's not like you're gonna lock up the rear wheel. But yeah, it's a bit cumbersome going around the curves, but I don't ride fast, so I don't mind. I can slow down, I can roll off that throttle. This throttle though is, watch what happens, you can see it. It's just torque. It's just torque, and I do love the kind of drastic, this clamp here, the single dial, these short, very slight bend in the handlebars. It's a very muscular motorcycle. It feels muscular. Even with this faux tank and these faux air boxes, these air vents, which I just found out were fake on the first generation V Max. I thought I'd be sitting more in the bike, more kind of like behind this very muscular thing, but I'm sitting very much on top of the bike, and this modular seat is extremely comfortable. You're kind of sitting in this little seat. It's very cruisery, muscle bike, roadster. I can't think of a bike I've ridden. I'm gonna see if I can get, there's a nice flat here. I'm gonna interrupt myself. 75 in 6 gears, 85. I'm coming up to V boost. Holy shit, yeah. Holy shit, 9,500. Oh my god. Oh god! Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god! Oh god, that happened! Gulp! Gulp! Oh! Oh god! Oh god! Oh god! Oh god! The birds are circling because I just died back there. Oh my god! Oh, sorry, I don't know. I don't know what to say. Yeah. Holy crap. Holy crap. My helmet just got a little tighter because I just got this smile on my face. My cheeks are just smashed up against my helmet. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm comfortable right around here. 65 miles an hour, 3,800, 4,000 RPM. It's got a really nice grunt to it. It's really comfortable to ride. The wind is, I was going 105 miles an hour and I did not feel the wind at all. There's no wind here. Right here, it's the Suzuki bubble. If I raise my hand above this dial, I got some wind, but that's going right over my helmet. Here's the speedway track. That's the dirt track. Oh my god. Oh, did you hear that? Listen. That is. Oh, there's some balls on this thing. This thing's got balls. You feel? I felt the power because of the speed and that exhalation of the V boost, but I didn't feel the muscle of it until just now. Wow. This is a muscle bike. Ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. Felt like I was gonna burn out there. It's very rare that you're gonna find a stock V Max or a stock anything from 1986. You sit tall on this. You sit proud on this. Let's try another. Suspension's nice and cushy. It reminds me of the Virago a lot. I wonder if there's some similarities or some. It has the Virago braided cables. It's got the Virago turn signals from the era. I think it might even have. I know the Virago has dual clocks, but it has a singular one. Doesn't have the tachometer because the tachometer is hiding on this display here, which is quite handsome. It's quite tidy here. You know, you look at the old 80s bikes with all these lights and things, but it's quite a tidy situation there. Oh, listen to that. Listen to that. V-boost. I don't know what gear I'm in, but I like it. Oh. V-boost. Oh my God, that is a really cool feature. Oh. coming out of warp to a 90-degree right-hander. Oh my gosh, my left eye is twitching now. I think I'm having a stroke. Oh my God. Oh, we found some curves. You know, whenever I ride someone else's bike, I ride reasonably cautiously. I do like that on these roads up here in New York, you can see a lot of the exits of the turns, and you can see far ahead on these straights. But I am taking it easy around these curves. One, for the notorious reputation of handling of the V Max, but two, it's not my bike. I'm not gonna crash this bike. And third, there's been a serious amount of deaths on motorcycles this year in this area. In the past month, I think there's been 4 motorcycle deaths. So, you know, car drivers aren't taking heed of the motorcyclists, and I think the motorcyclists are, well, I was going to say they're a bit less cautious after being locked down for so long, but I don't think motorcyclists or anyone in America has been locked down like we have been in the UK and elsewhere in the world, so I can't really blame. Oh, you can hear the servo. There's a bit of almost like a wind-up of a turbo. That was interesting. It feels like, I don't know, it feels like a movie star motorcycle. Not a movie star's motorcycle, possessive, but like that this would be a featured motorcycle in a movie. The front wheel is out front. It's kind of like that bike that bounty hunter rode in Raising Arizona. The front wheel, you know, the big front wheel. Look at that. I don't know if you can see it out there, but just muscle. You can hear it. The clutch is a cable clutch. It's a bit heavy, but it's not. I don't feel like I could get tired with it because it's very mechanical and decisive. The clutch, just that beautiful Yamaha clutch. Ka-tunk, ka-tunk, ka-tunk. Just the engine braking on a V4 is just insane. The heat coming off this engine is serious. You don't really think back to liquid-cooled bikes back to the mid-'80s. That was kind of a new thing that was coming around. But you can see why this is liquid-cooled, because I don't think the air would cool this monster of an engine. I really like how small that front headlight is. I don't mind how big the lollipop turn signals are and how high they sit. There's something so unapologetically ugly, mean. This is like the bouncer at the bar. He's just muscular, and he's got a broken nose and big fucking cauliflower ears, and he's got a scar, but you don't fuck with him. Oh my God. He's so kind of brutal that there's an attractiveness to him. And there's an attractiveness to this brutal bouncer bike.
If you like that video and you want to see more like them, hit like, share, and subscribe.